Ever since Apple unveiled the MacBook Neo, which is the most inexpensive MacBook in existence, I found myself craving one. Primarily because my old Windows 10 laptop was not going to be allowed to be upgraded to Windows 11, which left it vulnerable for the things that I primarily used it for, which were email, online banking, web shopping. Now, I don't need a laptop. I have a large computer that I primarily use for most of my work. I could easily do all those tasks on there. It's just nice to be able to be on the couch, at a coffee shop, wherever I want to be, to do a little typing, web browsing, shopping, whatever you want, you know? I needed something that a little more secure if I wanted to continue to do that. So as a Windows user, using Mac OS did not seem that appealing, especially since before I'd have to pay $1,000+ for the privilege of doing so. And I could easily get a semi-powerful Windows machine to operate at that price. Since my primary use of a laptop is just web browsing and surfing, that $600 price point was looking very attractive, especially since comparable aluminum shelled laptops in the Windows space were close to $1,000. Still cheaper than the MacBook Air, but not as cheap as the aluminum bodied MacBook Neo, which for what I was going to use it for, that would have been perfect. And after it unveiled, I completely stopped looking at Windows machines and started focusing more on the Neo. That is until I decided to look up an old friend, Linux Mint. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Mint, you know what that is. How did that prevent you from buying a MacBook Neo? I just needed a little web browsing thing, and I was gonna have to buy a brand new Windows laptop, and if I wanted the premium feel of an aluminum body, I was gonna have to pay more than a MacBook Neo, which is why I was looking into the Neo in the first place and why it looked very attractive. If you're not familiar with Linux Mint, it's a free operating system. It has a look and feel very similar to Windows. There's obviously a few minor differences. However, the core things that I use, which is Windows E, pulls up your file system. Windows left or Windows right will snap objects into place. You can create folders just by right-clicking on the desktop. You can create a monthly budget that's live facing. I didn't even program that in, and it automatically knew negative numbers would be read. So that's just a little feature of LibreOffice, which comes pre-installed in Mint OS. Another really neat thing about Mint OS is the printer drivers. As soon as you connect to your home Wi-Fi, if you have printers hooked up to the network, it will immediately grab them. For example, real quickly, I can just hit Control P and boom, I can now see both the printers on my network and print directly to them. In addition to that, the touch drivers were completely functional, Mint OS and this very nice attractive touchscreen. And why that's nice is because you can set this out and do little drawings, erasing, and do all that stuff. So Linux Mint natively, just out of the box, let me do that, which I was not expecting to be the case. Ever since upgrading this machine to Linux Mint, I have not had to go into the console once. Now it is down here, and it is easy to operate. All your normal Linux commands work, so if you're familiar with it, I'm sure you already know about Linux Mint, but if you really wanted to dive into this, you could, and the beauty of it is you can have the pre-installed Firefox just snapped to the right of it, and you can go ahead and look up some Linux commands and have them off to the right. You could even use AI if you wanted. Everything that I use on Windows, all the keyboard, all the shortcut keys, everything like that works exactly how I remember it. The only thing that I had to create a keyboard shortcut for was the Control-Shift-Escape command, which I use fairly often, especially for weaker hardware, the resource monitor. It's a fairly simple process to set this up. You can actually hit the little Windows key and bring up the command prompt here and look up keyboards. If you go in your custom shortcuts, you can see here's the system monitor, and you actually just you put the command gnome-system-monitor in here, leaving the folder as none, and then set your accelerators. And then from that point forward, Control-Shift-Escape will bring up the resource monitor in whichever window size and placement you had it. It was pretty much good to go. I was curious. It has a very nice built-in software manager. One of the softwares I grabbed was a little programming software for the Arduino Uno boards or various other Arduino boards. And just to kind of show you The connectivity with this was instant. You just have to set yourself up as somebody that, as a user, that's allowed to use the USB ports for communication, which all you have to do is try to upload a sketch to a board, and it will tell you you have to do that, and then you just have to type in your password and then reset the machine, and then you're done. You don't have to do that ever again. Look, the LED's blinking. And just to prove that I can actually program it, I'm gonna up it by 1,000 milliseconds each way. There we go, you saw the LEDs go, look at that. Kind of slow now. A staple project that you have to do with the Arduino. Would I do anything else with this Linux Mint? If I had some more capable hardware, maybe I'd do some Blender stuff, maybe I'd do a little GIMP editing for software, but quite frankly, I don't need any other software other than the LibreOffice suite, Firefox. I really didn't even need the Arduino software, but I saw it on there and I did it just to kind of show that you can do other things with it. This is great to revive old hardware to kind of replace your need for the MacBook Neo, because if you're getting the Neo, your chances are the only things you're going to do with it are the included, essentially, Office replacement softwares that are included with the Mac OS, which is actually another huge bonus. So most Linux distributions come with LibreOffice, and that is going to scratch pretty much all the itches you're going to have or need for just generic workflows like that. You can go ahead and do your own YouTube thing with Firefox and do the all the web browsing you want to do. You can watch your favorite video in full screen. All right, that's enough of that. Thank you, Linux Mint, for saving me $600 and keeping my old premium feeling 7-year-old Windows 10 machine alive. And thank you for having all the touch drivers and everything I would want up and running with minimal to no effort. In true Linux fashion, if you want to feel like a power user, you can always shut down your computer in the command line. That is why I absolutely recommend just dumping Linux Mint on your old hardware to stave off that desire to buy the brand new premium MacBook Neo. Until next time, I'm the Ill-Informed Human. Bye-bye.